All right, so are you ready to analyze another IELTS passage? Well, this passage is taken from Cambridge 18 academic book, of course, test 3. It's actually passage 2. So if you have the book, make sure to open it and read along with me. The passage is on the left, and of course the questions here on the right. What we always do is we first look at the questions that we have to see what is best to do. Well, first of all, we have these headings, and after the passage there are multiple choice questions and one summary task. Anything else? No. Okay, fine. That's questions 14 to, what was that, to 23, is that? No, to 26. Great. So, well, before we even worry about which questions to do first, which questions to do next, we'd better skim read the passage. And by skim read, I mean we need to go through the text real quick for the main ideas only. So I don't know anything about the passage, so there's no point in looking at the questions. I know what you're thinking. Some people might decide to save time. I mean, you might be trying to save your precious time by looking at the questions first, but this is a common mistake. In fact, reading the text completely would be also a big mistake. Reading the questions before you start with the passage is also a mistake. I'll explain why. Well, I'll actually show you how it works. So let's go through this passage together. I'll pick up my marker first. So there is the title that we have to read. The steam car, okay. The successes and failures of the Double brothers and their steam car. So this, there seems to be some people, like two brothers, I guess, and they seem to have invented the steam cars. Okay, and about we're gonna learn about the successes and failures. Well, you know what? This is the title. This is the title or heading. This is the subheading that we read, and the introduction. If it's short, you can read all of it, but if it's rather long, like in this case, and if the title and the subtitle are quite clear, we can read the last sentence, which is typically the thesis statement of the passage. So, despite such shortcomings, these newly designed self-propelled carriages offered quick transportation, and by the early 1900s, it was not uncommon to see such machines shuttling wealthy citizens around town. So it seems like it was not uncommon to see, which means later in the early 1900s, they became quite common. They were commonly used. So despite some, so there were some negatives, and so this essay seems to be going to talk about some possible downsides and despite them, the success stories of the brothers. That's all we can guess so far. But the glory days of steam cars were few. Okay, so this paragraph seems to be about the glory days, good days, huh? Which were few. Even as the market was declining, four brothers, oh, there were four brothers, not two. Okay, oh, the name is misleading, it's double, but it's not two brothers, of course. Four brothers, okay, even as the market was declining, four brothers made one last effort to rekindle the technology. Oh, okay. The market was declining. They made a last effort, so to rekindle, which means to, you know, refuel, not fuel, actually, to retry and to revive, let's say, this technology. Fine. The following year, blah blah, drove the Model B from Massachusetts to Detroit in order to seek investment in its automobile design. Okay, so they were seeking investment. Okay, and all right, okay. To expand upon the innovations of the moon. Okay. Later that year, this guy delivered unhappy news. Oh, unhappy news. Later that year. What was the unhappy news? We can learn later, but it's pretty short. Let's read it. Those buyers who received a handful of completed cars complained that the vehicles were sluggish and erratic. Okay, sluggish and erratic. Oh, okay. That's the bad news. The brothers made one final attempt. So the final attempt is here to produce a viable steam automobile. Okay, that is a final attempt. Sadly, the double's brilliant steam car never was a financial success. It was never a financial success, so never. Okay, that's some general understanding of the text. Much better than knowing nothing. So now I will feel more comfortable looking at the questions. Now, out of these question types that we're given, I can tell you that the heading matching tasks, well, should be done first. So, and you know why? Well, the task heading matching paragraphs with headings requires you to understand the main idea of each paragraph, and that's exactly what we just did. We tried to collect the main ideas of the text, and here we're supposed to match the main ideas with the headings that we're given. Now, if we do this task later in the test, then the main ideas and the details, I mean the supporting ideas, will be mixed up, and decision making will be more difficult. So without reading all those details, you should probably be doing better matching these headings with the paragraphs. So okay, well, so what we should do here is step one. Let's look at the headings first. A period in which okay, in cold conditions, okay, before the technology is assessed. Before marketing issues had like a marketing, it's about marketing issues and failure. Good and bad aspects of STEAM technology okay, are passed on. Okay, a possible solution to the issues of today. Okay, well, I can already tell you that this sounds like a future statement or today's statement, because all the paragraphs are about the past. This sounds like a suitable heading for the last paragraph. I'm just guessing. Possible solution to today. But are we sure? Are we necessarily going to use this heading? No, maybe it's not going to be needed at all. Further improvements leading to commercial orders. Okay, commercial orders, further improvements. So it's one of those positive paragraphs. Positive publicity at last for this quiet, clean, fast. Okay, clean, quiet, fast, positive publicity, maybe somewhere. A disappointing outcome. Okay, disappointing outcome for customers. Wait a minute, this sounds familiar. A better option than the steam car arises. Okay, better option arises. Okay, now, here's a common mistake. Even though I noticed that some of these headings were familiar to me, and I kind of thought that this is suitable for the last paragraph, it's not a good idea to match paragraphs with the headings. In fact, we do the opposite. We match headings with the paragraphs, meaning we find a paragraph, and we find a heading for that paragraph. So let's take one paragraph. Now, which paragraph should we choose? Well, it's from A to G, right? So all of them are needed, yes. Which paragraph was really short and with a clear idea? Well, this one, which is number 18. So, last year, unhappy news to those eagerly waiting. Those buyers who received the complained that the vehicles were sluggish and erratic. So, buyers. It was about buyers and the unhappy news. No. Okay, a disappointing outcome. All right. For customers, buyers. So yes, this seems to be a suitable answer for number 18. So we can write, what was that? You can write E for this. Oh, sorry, this lower one. So yeah, the answer to this seems to be E. Are we sure yet? No, we just put a mark here, meaning this is done. But it doesn't mean that we were right. We might be wrong. For now, that's the best answer. What about the other paragraphs? Should we start with A? Not necessarily. We start with the paragraphs that are clearest or shortest. Typically, if it's a short paragraph like this, we can even read it completely, but we don't need to, because the first few sentences tell us a lot. Okay. Okay, well, I remember that the last paragraph, which was about today and stuff, Price at around 1924. It was popular, but plus it said that two models. My guess was not right. Actually, so far, it's not really about today, but maybe it will be. Anyway, so do we have any other clear paragraphs? One last effort, investment, cold conditions. No, nothing here. Okay, last year. Okay, we did that. One final attempt to. Let's read this, shall we? It seems like actually it's a pretty short paragraph, and the title. I mean, the heading, the topic sentence is not that bad either. So one final attempt to produce a viable steam automobile. So that's no. Possible solution. No. Okay, so nothing is there. So no, a better option. No. In early 1900, the religious shipped to be road tested by the. Okay, after sitting overnight in freezing temperatures. Oh, okay. The car was pushed out into the road and left to sit for an hour in frosty morning air. A period in cold conditions before the technology is assessed. At the turn of the key, the boiler lit and reached this instead 40 seconds. Okay, that's it. That's clearly number one. So F, we can write F here, number 19. All right, next. So if all the paragraphs are equally difficult for me, actually this one is not bad. The glitter days of those were for few. A new technology called the internal combustion engine was soon appeared. Okay, this is a technology that replaced, what was that? A better option than the steam car rises. B. Yeah, it seems right. So should I write B? Yeah, that technology replacing it. So B is gone as well. We're left with fewer and fewer options. The reason why we choose the best paragraphs to start with is that we want to get rid of these headings and have fewer options to work with down the road. So we did read A, but okay, the introduction is one of those paragraphs that we probably need to read completely, because the last sentence may not be enough when we are choosing headings, of course. For the general ideas, well, that's enough really to read the last sentence. But the body, the whole paragraph itself can be read for matching, for finding a suitable heading for it. So when primitive, their engines were based on steam power. Okay, steam had already enjoyed a long and successful career in railways, but so it was only natural that the technology, the invention of, okay, but these early cars inherited steam's weakness along with its strength. The boilers had to be lit by hand, and they required about 20 minutes to build up pressure before they could be driven. Furthermore, the water reservoirs only lasted for about 30 miles before needing replenishment. Replenishment. Okay. Despite these offered quick transportation, and by the early 1990s it was not uncommon to see most such machines driving wealthy citizens around town. That's not that. This is not this. Possible solution to issues of today. No further commercial cars, maybe. Maybe. For further improvements, no. Okay, clean and no. Disappointing. No. Okay, well, let's look at them again. We had. Okay, despite these, there's offered quick transportation. So there's a despite here. Everything else was bad. This is good. So maybe this one, good and bad aspects of the steam technology are passed on. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. From this year to this year, the bad and good things are passed on. So can we choose this? Maybe. Yeah. Okay. Let's choose this. Let's choose 3 for paragraph A. What else do we have? Okay, next. Okay, this is gone as well. Even as the market was declining, one last. Between this and okay, is this enough? Maybe further improvement because they were trying to one last attempt. That's maybe a possibility. Okay, what options are left? Okay. While still attending high school and his three brothers built their first steam car in their parents' basement. It comprised parts taken from a wrecked early steam car, but reconfigured to drive an engine of their own design. Though it did not run well, it went on to build. So we have to read it completely, perhaps, but that's a bad paragraph, apparently. Let's go to D. Later we can read it completely if necessary, because there was nothing obvious from the first few sentences, really. The following year, drove the model, which he used to open. He and his brothers immediately began working on the model, which was intended to expand upon the innovations of below. Added features such as a key, added features and stuff. So further improvements, maybe. Yeah, they added stuff and improved things, commercial orders. But is there commercial orders here? Yeah, okay. They received money, they received orders. That's definitely the answer. So let's write D for this. So we have fewer and fewer paragraphs left. Oh, there's only one? Oh no, there's two. So let's do this one because I'm still guessing that this is the answer to this number, to this paragraph. Okay, is there anything mentioned about today? Okay, let's read it completely. By the time fewer than 50 of the amazing cars had been produced for his whole career until his death in 1961, remained at least, if not superior. Given the evidence, he may have been wrecked. Many of the models which have survived are still in good working conditions. What was that? A possible solution to the issues of today? No. Some having been driven over 500,000 miles with only normal maintenance. Astonishingly, then an unidentified runs clean enough to pass the emissions laws in California today, and they're pretty strict. It is true that the technology poses some difficult problems, but you cannot help but wonder how efficient might be the benefit of. Okay. Yeah, with under the current pressure to improve automotive performance and reduce emissions, yeah, that seems to be the case. The issues of today means the pollution problems, and can we say G is 20, so we can write G for this, and we're left with one paragraph only, paragraph C. Did we answer C? No. So for C, we have two headings left, if they are all the others are actually correct. So even what we have? Marketing issues had led to failure and positive publicity at last for this. Okay. Okay. Marketing issues. So is it either marketing issues or positive publicity? Let's see. This is positive, this is negative, this is positive. All right. Though it did not run well, the engineers went on to build the second and third prototype in the front of it. Though the boys' third prototype, nicknamed blah blah, still lacked the convenience of an internal combustion engine, it drew the attention of automotive brand magazines due to its magazines. So it's publicity or marketing. Let's see, due to its numerous improvements over the model proved to be superior to gasoline motors in high pressure steam. Its high pressure steam drove the engine pistons in contrast to perhaps most impressively, the model was amazingly swift. It could accelerate from 0 to at least it's described as the remarkable acceleration by Auto magazine. Yeah. So Positive publicity. Yes, this is positive. Being in the magazine is a publicity, and it's positive publicity. So let's write C for this. So that's it. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Are we sure? No. But well, we later, if we have time, we can later come back and double check or read the paragraphs more completely if necessary. But we should try to answer as much as we can by reading the first sentences. And if necessary, as you could see, some paragraphs need to be read completely for the decisions to be more accurate. So moving on, you know, did you notice that the headings, paragraph headings questions come before the passage, but the other questions come after. So questions 21 to 23, yeah, so the passage is the same. Okay, between this question type and the next, which is a summary completion, I would do the summary later in the test, because I know that the more questions I answer, the more familiar I will get with the contents of the passage. So I should be able to get better results later after answering these multiple choice questions. So what point does the writer make about, okay, it's giving me the exact location of the paragraphs, which is great. This is paragraph B, so why not? I can answer that. But even without this clear indication of the paragraph, I would be able to use the options to find the relevant areas, because the options, no matter if they're correct or incorrect, they all come from the same area. I mean, one or two paragraphs, typically one paragraph. So okay, let's just start with that. It doesn't matter because I know where it is. But if it wasn't clear, I wouldn't start with number 21. I would start with maybe 23 because of this name, Model C. Okay, paragraph B. What point does the writer make about the steam car in paragraph B? It's a very general question, so I need to read paragraph B completely one more time if you haven't already. The glory days of steam cars were few. Okay, a new technology appeared which offered the ability to drive down the road just moments after starting up. Okay, at first these noisy gasoline cars were unpopular because they were more complicated to operate and they had difficult hand crank starters which were known to break arms. Wow, when the engines backfired. Oh my God. But in 1912, General Motors introduced the electric starter, and over the following few years, steam power was gradually phased out. Okay. Its success was short-lived. Yeah, maybe. Maybe we already have a good option because of the first sentence. Not enough cars were made. What? No. Car companies found it, no, but people found them hard to drive. No, hard to start, not to drive. So yeah, that's the answer is 21A. And when building their first steam car, okay, should I answer this? There's no, I mean, first car, I don't know. It could be anywhere, but for sure this is after 21 because these question types are always in passage order. Remember, note this down. The multiple choice questions in IELTS are always in passage order, that's for sure. So if I don't see a clue in this question, why not answer number 23? Model C. In order to produce Model C, again, Model C, where is Model? This is Model B. Model C, okay, here's Model C. Right, there's no Model C up there? No. So if I find the answer here, then 22 would be before, like in between these two questions. So in order to produce the double brothers, what did they do? Okay. The following year, drove the model. Okay. He used to open the general engineering company. What? He and his brothers immediately began working on the Model C, which was intended to expand upon the innovations of the Model B. The brothers added features such as a key-based ignition in the cabin, eliminating the need for the operator to manually ignite the boiler. With these advancements, promising steam vehicle, okay, so what was that? Moved production to a different city? No. Raised financial, additional work and abandoned their earlier designs. Wait a second. No, they built upon it. I mean, they improved the design. So so far, this seems to be wrong. Wait a second. This was clearly wrong. They drove there. employed an additional worker or capital? Let's find out. Okay, with these enhancements, the new company okay, with greater speed, with much simpler driving controls and a virtually silent power plant. By the following April, the general engineer had received, okay, oh, okay, money, raised financial capital. Yeah, so that's the answer. So the answer is B here, and here was A. Now where's this one? This is definitely between 21 and 23. 21 was where? In B. Okay, it's probably here in this paragraph C. When building their first car, the Double brothers built their first steam car. You see, I'm not reading the options because if I see what they did, the answer would become quite clear to me. When building their first steam car, what did they do? First steam car. Okay. First steam car here. Three brothers built their first steam car in their parents' basement. It comprised parts taken from a wrecked early steam car but reconfigured to drive an engine of their own design. Though it did not run well, the brothers went on to build the second and the third prototype. Okay, so what's that? Constructed all parts themselves? No, clearly not. Made written notes at each stage of construction. I don't remember anything about that, at least not as far as I read. They did several attempts to achieve, maybe because they made several prototypes, right? And sought the advice of experienced people in the car industry. I don't think so. No. All right, yeah, those prototypes they made multiple prototypes, second, third prototypes, which means they had to make several attempts. So there we have the answers. Moving on to the summary task. Are these questions necessarily in passage order? Not necessarily, but the chances are that they will be, because it's a summary of the text, and it would be very unlikely for 24 to be at the end of the text and 26 to be at the beginning. So we trust that. But we also have the title here, which can take us to the right place. Model E. So we don't need other paragraphs. We'll need Model E, which is here. Great. So the answers should be around here. And well, how many words are we supposed to write? No more than one word only, guys. One word only. Gotta be extra careful about this. So what is the gap? The first gap is this one. I can jump to the gaps, but it's a better idea to read the whole summary once real quick and then come back and focus on the details. So okay, that's what we need later. Yeah, here it is. Yes, let's just mark it for now. They found it easy to drive despite its wide blah blah blah. A later design of raised what? While keeping its emissions low. Okay. The steam car was too expensive for many people, and this one was constantly being altered. Under blah blah cars were produced before the company went out of business. Even today, they are straightforward to maintain, and they just satisfy. Oh, okay. I think I remember this clearly somewhere here about the laws, perhaps. Okay, so because I remember this, I know where it actually is. California. What was that? California? Yeah, emission laws. Is that right? Is it? Oh, we have emission already here. So we need an adjective. So what kind of laws were they? They were pretty strict. So strict laws, right? So let's write strict. What do you think? Okay, strict, one word only, right? Under what? Model E. Under blah cars. Let's go back to this one because I don't have any clear like keyword or evidence for this. So okay, a later version of the Model E. Where's Model E? Model E. Okay, for his until his death. Many of the Model E's which have but are still in good condition. Some an unmodified Model E runs clean enough to. This is the later version, right? I guess so. while keeping its emissions extremely low. Okay, low emissions. What was that? Clean enough to pass. Okay. Where's the cleanliness? Emissions extremely low. Okay. So today, some are having driven. Grants clean enough to pass the emissions law. Okay, and they're pretty strict. It's true that technology causes some difficult problems. Raises what? But you cannot help but wonder how efficient. Raises oh yeah, okay, here. Reduce emissions, keep its emissions low, raised its, so improve. Can we say improve performance? Raises, no. Raise is not improve. Improve means in terms of quality, but this is in terms of quantity. So something went up. What was it that went up? Well, let's read again. From the beginning. Okay, equal. That's good. What? Okay. Okay. So maybe it's not even here. Wait a second, maybe it was here. Okay, as they drove to the escalator, they found that a new steamer was further developed and tested. Okay, its maximum speed was pushed to. Okay, well, all right. I need to shoot. Yeah, that's the speed. All right. Well, I was getting worried because I couldn't find any evidence for it, but now I can see that the emission levels are low. Okay, here, negligible emissions. All right, there we go. There we go. That's the answer. Now, why was I reading there? Oh, I was making a. Actually, no. Yeah, it could be anywhere, but it's more likely for 25 to be in between here. More likely, not guaranteed. So, if a strict was here, then 24. I expected it to be. I didn't expect it to be here really, but now I see that. What's the word that we choose? What is the word? What is the word? I saw speed somewhere. Okay, it's maximum speed. So one word only. So the word is speed. Under blah blah cars were produced before the company went out of business. Okay, how many cars under? Okay, it's like a number. It seems like under blah blah. Like 2 cars, 10 cars. How many cars were built? Numbers. Before the company went out of business. So, yeah. By the time the company folded, all right, that's when the company went out of business. Fewer than 50. Okay, fewer than means under. So fewer than 50, the answer is 50. So let's write 50 as it appears in the text. Great. So we got all the answers, right? 26 up to 26. Yeah, we got everything. And that's it, guys. So, well, that's how you should typically do an IELTS reading passage. There are priorities. There are skimming and scanning to do. Like I did skimming a lot for this task, and I did scanning for here model C, or the name, not the name really. Here I scanned for words like California or this number. So there's a scanning and skimming at work. And once you find the relevant section or line, you need to read around it. You need to read a lot and read fast. And of course, when you're doing that decision making at the end, you need to read quietly, slowly, and really think about each and every word so you can make the right decisions. Like I looked for parallel phrases like under, and the word was fewer than, for example. And that's it. So if you found this video useful, make sure to like it. It means a lot to us. It helps more people, with their IELTS exam. And also, if you have any questions about this video or any other IELTS related matters, feel free to ask them in the comments section below. Happy learning, and I'll be happy to see you soon.